President Akufo-Addo has directed Communications Minister Eslo Owusu-Akufo to suspend her directive for the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation to reduce its channels from 6 to 3. The National Media Commission earlier said the move by the Communications Minister amounted to government control of the media. Here is a news desk report looking at the story so far.
President Akufo-Addo has directed the Communications Minister to suspend the DTT directive given to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC. In a press release Thursday, the Director of Communications at the Office of the President, Eugene Ahin, said the directive is in connection with the reduction of GBC's channels on the DTT platform, pending further consultations with stakeholders. The National Media Commission earlier said the move by the Communications Minister amounts to government control of the media, but she had justified it, explaining there wasn't enough space on the platform.
This is not a new occurrence, but we're faced with a pandemic, which makes it difficult for us to even complete the switchover process because of the cost implications on broadcasters. So the discussions are, what do we do to free up excess capacity? Right now, if the state has need of broadcasting urgent communication to the public, it does not have any means of doing so. If national security has need of broadcasting urgent communication to the state, to the citizens, it has no means of doing so. It is critical for us at this juncture to be faced with a process in which the only platform for broadcasting to the populace, the capacity on it, is completely used up. And so it just makes sense, without reading any ulterior motives into it, to work to create additional capacity on it in the event that that capacity is needed.
In a letter Wednesday, the National Media Commission, NMC, said moves by the Communications Ministry to reduce 3 of the 6 channels of the state's broadcaster and Crystal TV on the platform is outside the ministry's remit. Yaobwedu Ayeboafo, chairman of the NMC, said the ministry is usurping its powers. According to the Commission, the Constitution mandates it to promote and ensure freedom and independence of the media for mass communication or information, and also insulate the state-owned media from governmental control. Mr. Bwedu Ayeboafo said any developments that seeks to deprive the media of its use of resources legally allocated to them compromises their capacity to serve the country.
As a news desk report there, let's get on Zoom for some reaction. I have NDC MP for Ningo Pram, Sam Jata George. Mr. George, good afternoon. Thank you for your time.
Good afternoon, Gifty, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers.
Right. Were you in Parliament? It doesn't look like you were.
I was. I just left
were.
Parliament.
Oh, right. So what are your thoughts briefly? You also think this is a manifesto, I guess?
A lot of political promises, very, very, very heavy on promises and very little on direct interventions that will affect the Ghanaian people over the next 6 months.
Let me bring you to the reason why we've called you for this particular conversation, which is that President Akufo-Addo has issued a directive essentially over that of the Communications Minister's quest for the GBC to, free up space by getting off 3 of their 6 channels. What do you make of that?
Well, this is not President Akufo-Addo's directive. President Akufo-Addo is only trying to ride on the back of the directive that was given by the National Media Commission. President Akufo-Addo heard about this and knew about this since it broke in the media for almost 2 weeks. He failed to take action. Yesterday, the National Media Commission ruled on the matter. The president's letter is moot. It's political chicanery. It's political football. It's of no consequence. Because when the president should have acted, he failed to act. This is a decision of the National Media Commission. And it upholds the position that I and the minority have held on this matter, that the minister acted unconstitutionally. Article 1624 of the Constitution was clear. The minister was very verbose in her defense of it. We've been vindicated. that the minister's actions amounted to an editorial policy or interfering in the editorial policy of the GBC. She had no mandate to take away the stations from GBC or issue the directives that she gave. I'm happy that the NMC is doing its job and that the ministry would have to comply with the directive by the NMC.
You say that you've been vindicated, but what the letter, let me start with the fact that it's always better late than never. When the president, adds his voice to something, of course, there's a bit of weight that comes with it irrespective. And so it's better late than never, wouldn't you say?
Gifty, the president's voice in this matter is moot. He doesn't have a voice. The president's voice should have come as soon as his minister's actions came to his knowledge. The president coming to speak after the NMC had spoke is like administering medication to a dead body. It has no effect. You can inject all the antibiotics you want into a dead body. It won't do anything. The president should have spoken and called his minister to order when the matter broke. After the NMC had spoken, once the NMC had spoken, there was nothing the minister could do. And you see, if you read the tone of the president's letter and the NMC's position, the president's letter is untenable. The president says the minister should suspend. The NMC says she does not have the power. So whether it is suspended or not suspended, she cannot come back to it after the election, which is what the president's letter suggests. That for political reasons, he wants to let this go quiet, and after the elections, they want to bring it back. It would not wash.
Is that how you see it? You see this the president's letter as a move to just suspend it, pre-election and bring it back post-election?
I am not saying that. I'm sure you've read the president's letter.
I can read it for you here. It's here. Okay.
Yes, he uses the word suspend. So please read it.
Yes.
Read the letter.
So it says, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Thursday, 23rd July, directed the Minister for Communication to, and I'm skipping a few, to suspend the implementation of the directives given to the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation in connection with the reduction of GBC's channels on the DTT, pending further consultation with stakeholders. That's how it
doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. The NMC was categoric. The minister does not have the power to issue those directives. The president is saying she should suspend the directives. It tells you that the president himself doesn't even understand what it is that is being said. So that's why I'm saying that you cannot seek to give credit to the president in an issue where, first and foremost, he should have acted at the time he should have acted. He did not act. The constitutionally mandated body has taken action, definitive action, and he is engaged in speculation.
Looks like I've just lost some George there, but I think that he's made his point, and it's quite clear. That Zoom gets like that sometimes. So he's saying that, well, it doesn't change anything. President's letter doesn't add anything to the conversation. The NMC has already issued their ruling on it, and that's it. He says the minority and their cause, or the minority has been vindicated, their cause substantiated, of course.